Billahi ta'ala. And so the author says, let it be known that the kalam, the speech of Allah, is an attribute among the positive, eternal, and everlasting attributes of the being of Allah. Okay, so we covered what positive means. It says here an attribute with an attribute that has real existence. That's true. An attribute that has real existence, yani, we could say it in another way, which is to say an attribute of confirmation. An attribute of confirmation, meaning we are confirming something, not denying something. It is possible to describe a described one with an attribute that does not confirm something. Do you recall the name of such an attribution? An attribute that does not confirm something. That one is called Salbiyah. Salbiyah. When we say Allah has attributes that are Salbiyah and attributes that are Ma'ani, these words are not special to Allah. It's possible to describe a created thing with an attribute of negation or a negating attribute. And it's possible to describe a creation with a confirming attribute. Because you could say, this wall, it's not black. So that means you're not confirming something about it. It's not black. So when you're not confirming something about it means what? There isn't some presence. There's no presence or existence we are confirming. Because saying it's not black doesn't mean that it is white. So we're not confirming something about it. That's sifa salbiyah. And to say the wall is black, then this is a ma'na, confirming attribute. Because we have confirmed the attribute of blackness for the wall. And therefore described it as black. Inshallah, that's clear.
Yes, barakallahu feek.
Ameen wa feek. And so the speech of Allah is a ma'na, a confirming attribute. Eternal and everlasting speech is one of his eternal and everlasting attributes of the being, of the self, of Allah. And then here the translator, they did translate and say it means speech. They did translate and say it means speech, but after that they didn't commit to that translation. They proceeded to say the kalam. The kalam of Allah is without a beginning, like the rest of his positive attributes. And why is that? I know some of our brothers and sisters, they have they are not comfortable with the word speech. For them, speech means sounds and letters. But it doesn't mean that, though. Speech does not mean sounds and letters. This is how to understand these things here. Just like sight, it does not mean eyes. Different meaning, different meaning. Not talking about what some people understand. It's not what some people understand is the issue here. Although we want to consider what people understand so we don't confuse them. So that we don't confuse the people. But what I'm saying right now is not out of regarding the people's confusion or not. What I'm saying right now is just out of regarding what the word means. So just like sight does not mean eye, hearing does not mean ear, speech does not mean sounds and letters, means something else. It's a meaning. Uh, it's abstract. It's not concrete. It's not an object. Okay. So anyway, as if the translator here is not so comfortable with the English word speech, but did translate speech here at least one time. We'll see if there's any more instances. Okay, it's not a great deal here. So the kalam of Allah is without a beginning, like the rest of his positive attributes: life, will, everlastingness, omniscience, omnipotence, hearing, and sight. How many is that? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. And then speech makes eight. Yes. And notice here. So, the bold is the bare text of the summary. So, alone, stripping the explanation away, it would say the speech of Allah is without a beginning like the rest of his attributes. So, when we strip away the explanation and just keep that, and it says, like the rest of his attributes, then the first thing that might come to the mind of one of us is the other 12 attributes. We learned that it's obligatory to know 13 attributes of the self of Allah. So if you strip away these explanatory words here, like the rest of his attributes, it would perhaps come to someone's mind that this means the other 12. But according to the explainer, the rest of his attributes here means the rest of his ma'ani attributes. Okay, then if that's the case, then two questions arise. Is it valid to say the open statement, his attributes, or the attributes of Allah, and you mean only the ma'ani and not the salbiya? And the other question is, if this sentence means the ma'ani attributes of Allah are without a beginning in particular, then does that imply something else about the salbiya? Why don't they fit here anyway? So, as for the first question, is it valid to say the open statement, the attributes of Allah, for which we would usually understand this means the 13 attributes, but one means only sifatul ma'ani? Yes, it is valid. And scholars have done that. They would say the attributes of Allah are power, power, will, hearing, sight, speech, etc. Just the ma'ani they would name. So then there's an implication. They are saying the ma'ani attributes of Allah are, or the attributes, the confirming attributes, the attributes that have confirmed existence are, that's valid. and it's not a negation of something else. Uh, and as for the answer to the second question, saying his attribute, his kalam is without a beginning like the rest of his ma'ani attributes. Does that imply something about the salbiya? No. Rather, the salbiya are the attributes that uh, don't have a confirmed existence. They are rather attributes by way of denial of something. And so, from that perspective, it's possible to just simply not include them here. Otherwise, we will say all the attributes of Allah have no beginning. If you have any question, go ahead.